Hi, my name is Tabitha Owanda and you're watching InterSTEM. So today's video is on the African Research Academies for Women. It was started in Ghana to help young undergraduate women in STEM to pursue research over the summer. Research is a very important part of the whole education journey, and just the opportunity to pursue it from an early stage is important. So, with that said, please watch my interview with Adaobi Okocha. She is one of the founding members of ARAW, and see what vision they had for Africa and see how you can support uh, in moving that vision forward. They're currently in Ghana, but they want to expand to many more countries. So let's see how we can support this wonderful initiative and continue the development of STEM in Africa for Africans to promote a better world in the future. Thank you so much for agreeing to do this interview with me and to talk to me about ARAW and just to give me more of an insider's perspective on what you guys do.
Thank you. So I'm glad to do it.
Awesome. So maybe we could start with a little bit of a background. Do you have a background in STEM, and how did that translate into ARAW?
Sure. So I grew up definitely with a background in STEM. I from a young age in itself, I was very much interested in science. So when I started, in high school, really exploring sciences, really exploring biology, that piqued my interest immensely. And it's always been a goal for me to go into medicine. So currently I'm in medical school. I was a neuroscience and behavioral biology major in undergrad, and have really been drawn to the sciences, whether it's like biology. I think biology is probably my favorite. And just really just learning about the world around us and what makes it up and what it is. So that's really my background in STEM.
Yeah. So, how did ARAW come about? Like, what's the story behind it?
Yeah, so ARAW was founded by two individuals, Shadrach Frimpong and Chuck Kojo Sarpong. I believe you might have met him earlier. So these are two men who were very interested in learning about why there is such a huge gender gap in research, and they too are really interested in science. They're deep within the sciences. I went to undergrad with Kojo, and we were both neuroscience majors. So their interest in science kind of led them to kind of question, why is there such a huge disparity, a huge gap among the sciences and women in Africa? And so this led them to begin to formulate this idea of ARAW and bring it to fruition as we have it today.
Oh, interesting. And that your answer probably explains why you decided to focus on, women in particular. Yeah, so my next question would be, what would a normal day in the summer research program look like?
Yeah, sure. So in the summer program, we have, our we call them our fellows, our scholars, and they are going through mentored research. So they're connected with a research mentor in their area of express interest, which they express on the application. And they're going through this mentored research, and they're producing reports based on their findings thus far. And they also do some updates to the program manager about their findings thus far. So they'll go in, conduct this research, conduct the necessary steps to do the research, and at the end of this summer program, they produce a report, they produce a presentation about what they studied, the implications, and it's very much similar to the research programs here in that we have in abundance in the States, and we have seen in abundance in Europe, where you have this very much mentored research program, and these scholars who enroll in them are able to carry out their research, explore their interests, and really deepen their experience and their handle of the sciences.
Thank you so much. What are some notable research projects that have been undertaken at ARAW's summer fellowship for the past few years?
Yeah, so we have many scholars, for one, who have graduated from the program and have now moved on to actually very prestigious scholarships, and those who have been able to share their research in conferences. So, for instance, we do have Delight. Her last name is Datsomo. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. However, she, after graduating from our program, she was awarded the Erasmus Mundus scholarship, and this lets her pursue a triple master's in food innovation and product design. And she'll be studying in France and Ireland and Italy. So she's, through kind of her experience in ARAW, she's been able to go out and seek the scholarship and further the depth of her knowledge in these sciences. Another student we have went to the Clinton Global Initiatives conference that was in October this past year, so this past October. And her name is Felicity Yeboah. And she founded this program called Minarch 1, and she was a co-founder and a project coordinator. And basically this program was focused on, how do I put it, kind of sensitizing the Ghanaian community on menstruation and how it's managed, and basically menstrual hygiene management. And so she's been able to take this project, and she was selected to share it and talk about it and present it at the Clinton Global Initiatives conference in Chicago. So she went from Ghana to Chicago because of this project that she was working on, and she kind of helped to what is the word? Kind of helped to build up. We've had scholars go with their projects to compete for Unilever prizes. Unilever had a competition, and one of our scholars used their project and competed in this Unilever competition, which they had multiple stages, and ultimately they presented in South Africa and they won. And so I think it's amazing that our scholars are using their experiences and their just fueling their interest and sharing with the world, and really showing that we have something great to offer and we have innovative ideas to offer.
What is ARAW's vision for STEM in Africa?
So our vision, and you're asking a very should I say wide-minded person, where my goal for ARAW personally is that we're going to be all over the continent. And so we have established our written vision, we call it our Vision 2020, where we can expand and reach various countries of Africa such that, we have our hand in, the different countries and are able to expand and promote this vision to other women, like, hey, yes, you can, do research regardless of what is said, regardless of, what barriers may seem to have been established. So our hope is that we can expand our summer academies and continue to have more and more graduates of this program who can share their knowledge with their community and really fuel science and research on the continent, and also really fuel growth within their respective countries and on the continent as well.
Awesome. You guys have your 2020 goal and we're in 2019. So if you don't mind me asking, where are you guys at now, and what do you need to make it between where you guys are at now and where you want to be?
Yeah, good question. So yes, we are in 2019, and we've really been focusing and honing in on solidifying our Ghana Academy right now. We have reached out and made partnerships with other institutions in Nigeria, and we're currently reaching out further. And we really want to make sure that we have a good grounding before we expand, because one of the things that happens is when you expand too quickly, the foundation can be very weak. And so we really want to make sure that our foundation is steady and our foundation is strong, such that when we expand, it will make sense. It will be an expansion that is steady, and we have solid grounding in wherever we choose to establish. So between between now and our end goal of, yes, being present across the continent, we really do hope that we can find these partnerships with institutions that can provide our scholars, meaningful research, whether they are educational institutions like universities or independent research institutions. But we're able to form these partnerships with them and really establish these connections that will make our scholars' experiences meaningful, and we'll able to boost them and take them to new heights, while also at the same time promoting that, yes, you have this experience and we know that you have such vast knowledge to share with the world, but also make sure that you're giving back to the community that's brought you here.
I think what you said about getting a good foundation before expanding is very valid, and I commend you guys. I feel like you guys are on the right track. I obviously don't know what's happening on the inside, but I think you guys will be moving in the right direction soon. Yeah, you're welcome. What advice would you give to young African women in the sciences who are probably second-guessing their involvement in the fields that they're in and are doubting that they have credible work to contribute in terms of research?
Yeah, that's a very good question. And I'll speak very much from experience that even here in the States, but globally, this is a very global, should I call it an epidemic, where no is easier to say than yes in some cases. And no is especially easier to say to women who are seeking upward mobility outside of the stereotypical or normative women roles. And I would say that if you're given a no, don't listen to it. Because many times we receive these no's and they are put out because it's not traditionally our role. It's not traditional for the woman to be a scientist or be an engineer or be working with machines or, be in the lab. I don't care if you are surrounded in your research group by a group of men. You stand out and you make your place known that, hey, I belong here. I am capable, even more than capable, of carrying these things out. Whether I am repairing a tractor or pipetting in the lab, I am more than capable. And I think it's really important for young African women to know that you are more than capable, and you will fuel this field to new heights just by taking that step and refusing to hear the no's.
Wow, that is so timely, especially because I'm still an undergrad, and so I'm like, yes, take that information. Yeah,
take it, girl. It's, and especially in undergrad, I know it's hard sometimes even finding research experience. But even taking that first step to seek it and seek research experience that will challenge you beyond what you may be used to, or is beyond what may be said, that is, how should I say, it's beyond what people say is your ability. go for it. Because only you know yourself, you know your interest. If you lose out on this opportunity, it's only gonna be falling back on you. So go for it.
Yeah. I don't know if this is asking the same question, but if you could go back to your undergrad days and do something different, or do the same thing but that had a great impact, what would that be?
I think I would have definitely pursued more external opportunities. I think I really stayed within the go to class and go home type, model. I know I did have my extracurriculars, but I think with regard to STEM, I was very much, STEM was only in class. But I think if I pursued summer programs and internships that were like established programs, I think I would have definitely fared a lot better, enjoyed that too. Additionally, if I'd gone to faculty directly and been more assertive with my interest in science, I think my depth within research would have been deeper. Because I know that was one of the things I was always looking for. How do I get involved in research? How do I get a research position or XYZ job? And I think, yes, I was passively emailing, but it would have made a difference to be assertive and say, this is my face here. And I'm interested in what you're doing. How can I get involved? And it's important to say, how can I get involved, not ask, can I get involved? It's easier to say no to can I get involved than to how can I get involved. So I think that assertiveness is definitely something that I hope that I could do.
Oh, thank you for that insight. I'll have it in my toolbox for next semester. Thanks. So this is like the final question, but to my viewers, what appeal would you make to all of us to support the growth of ARAW and its vision?
I think first and foremost, share the word. I think one thing about making partnerships or gaining traction is to have us out there in the field. So we have our name out there and have our mission out there. So share the word, and when doing so, be sure to check out our website. We have a website, www.ara-w.org, and go through our website, go through each page, and take a look at what you see. And when you read that, pass it on to somebody, because I think one of our greatest strengths is our network, and we can derive a great deal of partnerships and meaningful connections from that network. And as well as contribute, support in any way, whether it's through volunteering or funding or anything. Get involved with us. We love to have people get involved in one way or another, and even reaching out to people for mentorship. We're starting a mentorship circle to connect our scholars, our fellows, to mentors. Those are probably the main ways I would say you can get, people can get involved.
All right. Thank you so much, Adobe, for your time and for your insight. To be honest, that is the most valuable thing I've gotten out of all this, especially your snippets of what you would do differently, and just your word of advice to young African women in STEM has been very profound on me, and I'd like to thank you personally. Also thank you on behalf of my viewers. Thank you so much. Thank you. Goodbye.